Rather than lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a brand new video. Big breaking news. Arsenal have offered 60 million to Chelsea for Kai Havertz in our second bid. Chelsea are still asking for around 65 million. Talks are very positive, and Arsenal will offer Kai Havertz 210,000 per week. Now, there is also a feeling that after tomorrow, when Germany play Colombia in their international break last game, the player will be an Arsenal player. I'm going to be delving into much of that. Fabrizio Romano and Sammy Makbo from the Daily Mail confirming that the bid is in. Chelsea is now advancing with Arsenal towards an agreement. Kai Havertz will be an Arsenal player, probably our first signing of the summer, unless there is something tragic and drastic happening with the Declan Rice deal. Hit the like button, subscribe to the podcast as well. I'm not asking how you feel about Kai Havertz joining Arsenal. I already know how you feel. 65% of you think it's a very, very good signing, according to the poll we did, and around 30% feel it's actually a bad signing, according to the poll we did on YouTube. But the question for me in the comment box below, do you think 60 million is enough or worth of Kai Havertz? Is Kai Havertz worth of 60 million? Yes, he's had 3 bad seasons at Chelsea, and he's won a UCL among those 3 bad seasons. Actually, won a UCL title. Do you think 60 million is actually good money for Kai Havertz, or is Kai Havertz a good player for our 60 million? Let me know in the comment box below. Right, so Fabrizio Romano has just taken to his Twitter and literally reiterated what Sammy Makbo has actually posted and said Arsenal have approached Chelsea again for Kai Havertz. New bid was expected and talks are now advancing. Proposal is 60 million as per Sammy Makbo. Understand the deal could be done at around 65 million fee. Talks to follow. Havertz has been very, very clear. He wants the move to Arsenal Football Club. That is Fabrizio Romano there in his first tweet. And also to follow up on that one, Fabrizio said that expectation around Kai Havertz deal is that the agreement is to get the agreement done this week after the international break. Arsenal hope to get the green light from Chelsea as a 5-year deal is already agreed with Kai Havertz. Indicated fee to get the deal done is around 65 million pounds. It is happening, guys. It is happening. Kai Havertz to Arsenal is very, very close. Now, listen. When I saw this story, first and foremost, broken by Sammy Makbo on the Daily Mail, I knew it was a very genuine story. I knew it was a very, very strong, story because, again, Sammy Makbo is one of those really interesting journalists when it comes to credibility. He's such a credible lad. Now, Fabrizio retweeting it and, adding more information, it just adds the flamping, it just adds fire to the flamping. So let's dive into the details of what is happening at the moment. Arsenal did go in with our first bid, which was around 50 million plus 5 in terms of add-ons. That was rejected. That was pushed back. Chelsea wanted more than 50 million guaranteed payments, and they wanted definitely more than 5 million in terms of add-ons. And they also want the add-ons to be realistic and attainable and achievable. Now, Arsenal in the market, we are known for stating and adding add-ons in clauses that are actually not attainable and gettable. So the first bid, which is around 55 million in total, was pushed back by Chelsea, and they said if you come back with an improved offer, we might actually talk. Now, what Arsenal have done here is very easy. What we've done, we have kept our add-ons as 5 million pounds, but we have added on the fixed guaranteed payments. We have added 5 million. We have made it 55 million in terms of fixed payments, or what Chelsea are guaranteed to get, regardless of whether the player works out or doesn't. And we've also told them you'll get 5 million pounds as add-ons if he meets certain criteria. Probably if Arsenal win the Champions League, probably if Arsenal win the Premier League as well. So that is the new offer. That is the new bid. It is on the table. Talks are progressing positively. There is a feeling that Chelsea will want something more than 60 million. There's a feeling that Chelsea will want something around 65 million pounds to get the deal done. And I think that might not be a big problem. I don't think Arsenal will stretch the deal to 65. Our current deal is around 60. The deal might end at around 60 to 63 million pounds. And that's why I feel like this one, for me, it's pretty much done. I don't see how Chelsea want 65, so they reject 60. I think they would just tell Arsenal, you've got to add around 2.5 or 3 million euros, and then we get the deal over the line. Now, I think I know what the game is for Chelsea here, and I know the end game. One, they are looking to sell so many players this summer, and they cannot be looked at as weak negotiators. They cannot be looked at as a team you can easily drive into selling their players at a very, very low price. So they will try to push back Arsenal. They will try to push Arsenal. They will try to bring out every single penny that we are willing to spend on Kai Havertz. They will definitely do that, because if they do not, just imagine if we paid 50 million for Kai Havertz, a player that they paid, I think, 72 million for in 2020. That literally means that they have to go below, much lower for Mason Mount. And Man United could go, okay, if you've sold Kai Havertz for 50 million, we will give you 49 or we'll give you 47 for Mason Mount. After all, he's a player that doesn't want to be there as well, and he's a player that you didn't spend any money on in terms of transfer fees. He's come right through your academy, right? So it's still a negotiation game, right? Chelsea need to make sure that they look tough in negotiation, and as well, Arsenal need to make sure that we look tough, but we look tough as we get our main man in Kai Havertz. And for me, this is a deal that I really, really liked. It's one of the deals I really like. It's a very simple one. No competition. Bayern are just there making noise. Actually, according to, I think it was Christian Falk, writes a lot of Bayern, writes a lot of German football. He was saying that the interest in Kai Havertz from Bayern is there, but you cannot say that they're gonna bid for Kai Havertz very, very soon. So there is no guaranteed bid, there is no guaranteed efforts from Bayern to come in and disorganize this deal. And Chelsea know that you've got to get the money and run. You need to get the money and run. If Arsenal walk away with 60 million, there's so many deals they could do for players, for attacking midfielders who are going to be, arriving in the penalty area, just like Jacques has been doing. There's so many names, there's so many players. Think about Arsenal going for Gabriel Viega, activating that release clause for 35 million pounds. He could be that kind of player. Think about Arsenal going to Wolverhampton Wanderers and signing, Nunes as well from Wolves. That also could be a good deal. Think about Arsenal going to sign James Maddison for 40-50 million. That could also be a very good move. So I think Chelsea know that Arsenal are not here because they do not have any other players in their ranks, but they are here because they feel the deal is doable, and they are here because they are willing to spend money on Kai Havertz, because he's a player that fits the profile and fits into what they want to do and fits into what the manager really, really wants to do. So I don't expect Chelsea to give us headache on this deal, especially now that we have raised the offer to 60 million. And look, again, I think we must have impressed Chelsea to this point. We went in with a 55 million bid for a player we are willing to spend 60 million on. That is very, very rare. That is absolutely rare. In most cases, if you're willing to spend 60 million, just like Arsenal did, Arsenal went in with 30 million for Julian Timber. His asking price is 50, right? And I'm very, very sure Arsenal are willing to spend over 50 million on Julian Timber. I think we might not spend that. It's going to take a lot of negotiation and cut prices and compromises. But what I'm saying is, if Arsenal are willing to spend 60 million and they come in with 55, that is a real statement of intent. That is us going, we want him, and this is how serious we are. And Chelsea now have to decide on one or two things. One, they either wait for a bidding war that is never going to come. I don't think any other clubs are going to come into start at where Arsenal are, propose 60 million. I don't think many clubs are going to come in. Yes, Thomas Tuchel loves the player. He understands him, and maybe he might push Bayern into getting this deal done, maybe quicker than Arsenal. But I don't think Bayern are willing to spend 60 million on Kai Havertz. I'm not really sure, right? With the likes of Florian Wirtz at Bayer Leverkusen, with the likes of Moussa Diaby still at Bayer Leverkusen, with so many German players at at different clubs in Germany, I don't see how they come here and spend 60 million on Kai Havertz, right? They've done it with Leroy Sané, so they can do it, but I don't see how they do it with Kai Havertz. The other thing, what Chelsea have to do as an option is sit with Arsenal, maybe try to structure the 60 million in a way that favors them. They could ask for around 20 million in terms of upfront, right? They could ask for 20 million upfront, and then they could also ask for lesser, a lesser period of time for which these installments are going to be paid. So they could say 60 million, yes, 20 million down, the rest of the 40 in 3 years, or the rest of the 40 in 2 years. If Arsenal are comfortable with paying 40 million in 3 years or in 2 years, then the deal will definitely be over the line. Now, Fabrizio says that the feeling is that this deal will get done by the time we are out of the international break. That is tomorrow. So tomorrow, Germany take on Colombia in their last international friendly. After that, it will be over. Their international break will be over. Kai Havertz will be coming back to Chelsea, to London, probably to get the deal done, or to apply some kind of pressure to Chelsea. But I don't think there is any more pressure Chelsea need. They need money. They have a lot of deadwood. Like, Chelsea's deadwood are players that would start for Arsenal, for Man United, for Newcastle, for almost each and every Premier League side. Because Mateo Kovacic, for me, if City lose Ike Gundogan and they're looking to sign Mateo Kovacic is a quality player. They're going to get 30 million euros out of Kovacic, and he's going to go to Manchester City. And I tell you this, Kovacic is in the next 3 years will be a Champions League winner. There's no question about that. He will be a UCL winner at Manchester City, and he will be a Premier League winner as well. But Kovacic going to Manchester City, Kai Havertz going to Arsenal, Mason Mount going to Manchester United. I don't know if Liverpool are interested in any Chelsea players, but they could get one as well. And that means that their deadwood is such quality to start or even feature for the biggest managers in Mikel Arteta, Pep Guardiola, and Jurgen Klopp. Can you believe that? Like, can you really believe that? So they're under pressure to get some of this deadwood out, because what makes their players deadwood is they've signed these players for 3 regimes of managers. 3 different regimes of managers. Initially, you have the Frank Lampard signings and promoted players in Mason Mount and a few others. Then you have the Thomas Tuchel signings, right? I think the Kai Havertz, the Romelu Lukaku's of this world. And then you have the Graham Potter signings, the Mikhailo Modrics, Noni Madueke, and the others. And now you have a new manager in Mauricio Pochettino, respected for what he can do in the Premier League, especially with young talents. And he's come in and said, Mason Mount can leave, Kai Havertz can leave, Koulibaly could leave, Lukaku must leave, the goalkeeper Edwin Mendy can leave. And that just makes those players all deadwood. Right? Doesn't mean they're bad players. It means that they're deadwood now. The manager doesn't want them. The manager doesn't trust them. They have to be out of the door. And most of them, their contracts are obviously, running out 2 years, 3 years. So Chelsea need to either cash in on them, or they risk running a very, very big war with FFP. Imagine Kai Havertz working for free after signing him for 72 million and spending 200,000 a week on him. The same with Mason Mount, the same with Kalidou Koulibaly, the same with Romelu Lukaku, who is, I think, their record signing. No, he's not. He's no longer their record signing, because above him is probably Enzo Fernandez, right? But then you also have Mikhailo Modric in there. So they have a lot of deadwood. They need to clear the deadwood, and that's where Arsenal get the advantage. That's where we come in. And I think there's so many other players we could have signed. We could get Kovacic as well, but the feeling is that Manchester City will not intrude into our deal for Declan Rice if they get Kovacic. That is what I am getting from Fabrizio Romano. We could get Mason Mount as well. We could get I don't know if for me Cucurella is such a very nice shout, especially that we're playing with Alexander Zichenko and we might lose Kerentiani. Cucurella would be such a very, very nice shout. Now they bought him at around 60 million pounds. They're willing to lose half of that for him to leave. I'll be okay with Arsenal spending around 25 million euros or getting him on loan initially and, with an option to buy. If he does well, we could sign him. If he doesn't do as well as we thought, then we definitely, take him back to Chelsea. But Cucurella would be another interesting shout, in my opinion, just to cover Alexander Zichenko in case Kerentiani leaves Arsenal Football Club. But anyway, that is what is happening. A 60 million verbal offer is on the table for Chelsea from Arsenal. Kai Havertz, 210,000 a week is on the table for him as well. We are waiting for the international break because that is when here we go. It's going to come in from Fabrizio Romano. This one, pretty much done. The agreement is just 5 million away. And maybe the structure as well. I mean, I just hate things regarding structures. Because what they do is they just make a deal very hard. You might agree on a fee and add-ons, but then you don't agree on the structure. It's what is happening with the Declan Rice deal. And I will be giving an update very soon on the Declan Rice deal. But what's happening there is that West Ham are saying if you want to give us 99 million or 98 million, a big chunk of that money must be paid up front. And Arsenal are surely not in that position because we have so many players to deal with. We have so many signings to do. But anyway, let's wait and see what's going to come out of that one. I'll be reporting directly on the Declan Rice deal, and I'll also be reporting on the Moussa Diaby deal as well. We have an update from Lee Equip since yesterday, and of course more on Julian Timber. We'll see you right in the next one.